Welcome to Anna's Coastal Kitchen. Today I have a super pita bread dough for you to make 2 other recipes as well. All the information is below in the description. I am in the midst of moving to my new coastal kitchen, so it's a little chaotic, but I wanted to get in this video for you. Let's get started. I'll see you soon. Let's get started making this pita bread. Measure in 3 cups of sifted flour. It's 1. Add 1 packet of active dry yeast, 1/4 ounce. And to that we're going to add 1 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar. All right, I'm going to sift that in as well. Okay, and that is about it for the dry ingredients. Now, I'm just going to mix this all up with my hands. A little bit. And then you just make a well in the middle. Okay. And then you just pour in 1½ cups of lukewarm water. So just lukewarm to the touch. All right, and at this point, you are going to get it all mixed in together. Mix it by hand. Now mix it all together until it comes together well. Put that dough on a really good floured work surface. All right, so we're going to knead this dough for about 15 minutes. Don't be afraid of the dough, just get it off your hands. Need to add a little bit more flour to this work surface because this dough is a little sticky. It's a really rainy day today, so the dough is a little extra sticky, but don't be afraid. All right, so we're gonna knead this for about 15 minutes. So I have been kneading this dough for about 15 minutes and it is looking great. So see how it just bounces back? That's the way you want it to be. And I'm just gonna put this, there we go. Put the dough in a bowl with drizzled with a little bit of olive oil, and I'll place a damp towel over top of it. And I'm gonna put it in a warm oven. Where I had warmed it up earlier, it's just a little warm. Not hot or anything like that, just a tiny bit warm. We will get started again. So now I'm going to just put this dough in the bowl, right? And drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Just over the top a little bit. Ready? I'm going to cover it with this damp towel. Just cover it up here, and I'm going to pop it in the oven. Here is our bread dough, our preheated pita bread dough, and it looks really amazing. It has doubled in size and maybe a little bit more. Once the dough is doubled in size, cut the dough into 10 to 12 pieces. Roll each piece into a ball and then flatten each using a rolling pin. Use flour on the work surface so that it doesn't stick. So let's get started. Floured work surface. So now I'm going to cut these out into maybe 10 pieces. I just like using a pizza cutter, just makes it easier. All right. Roll these into some dough balls. I just like to pull them in under like this. And then I will lay them on some parchment paper. So I'll just combine these. All the dough balls are on the tray on some parchment paper. And I'm also going to cover them with parchment paper while I work on while I roll out each of the dough balls, just so that they don't dry out. So I preheated the oven to 500 degrees, and now I'm going to start rolling out my pita bread. I'm going to make sure you have a nice floured surface so it doesn't stick. And also put some flour on the rolling pin. And then here we go. So I put my pizza stone in there, actually both of the pizza stones, so that they will get hot with the oven and that the pita will puff up. And it only will take about 5 minutes, so. Now this dough I'm going to use to make my spicy cheese bread topping as well as the Manakish topping. And you will see the ingredients for that in this video as well. And my sister-in-law and my sister making those. So the pita bread, I really don't want to have too. You know, I want to have a little bit of flour on there because I don't want it to stick. And then I have them here ready to go. It only takes about like 5 minutes, like I said, for them to puff up. You don't want to get them brown. Continue rolling out the rest of the dough balls and place them on the preheated pizza stone. Bake for approximately 5 minutes until the dough balls are puffed up. Do not overbake. Wow, the pita breads look really wonderful. Make sure that after they cool down a bit, you wrap them in a dish towel and then put them in a Ziploc bag. Thank you to Sosie and Paula for demonstrating the Manakish and spicy Armenian cheese bread. Begin rolling out the dough balls on a very well floured surface, just as we did for the pita bread, but make them a little thinner. Once all the dough discs are laid out on sheet pans, you can begin adding the Manakish and cheese mixtures to the top of the discs. Begin crimping the edges of the dough discs as shown. The recipe for the cheese and Manakish mixture is below in the description. Begin spreading the mixtures on top of the discs, 1 tablespoon for each disc. When all the discs are covered with the cheese and Manakish mixture, bake in a 425-degree oven on the bottom rack for 5 minutes, and then place on the top rack for an additional 5 minutes until lightly baked on the edges and underneath. Do not overbake and dry them out. Look how delicious the spicy Armenian cheese bread and the Manakish look. I can't wait to try them. I hope you try them as well. The pita breads look and taste wonderful. I hope that you really give it a try. I hope you all enjoyed this pita bread episode. When I take it out of the oven, I put it in a cloth. So look at this delicious yumminess. They look wonderful. So I've got a few more in the oven, but I'm gonna just take a little tiny piece, taste it. Yum. I hope you try this recipe. Look for all the instructions in the description below. Please give me a thumbs up and comment if you love this video and if you try it. See you next time on Anna's Coastal Kitchen.